everyone. So I wanted to share with you guys some of our rules and expectations for remote learning this year. When I was originally thinking about how I would share rules and expectations, I got thinking, well, remote learning is different. But I realized that a lot of the rules and expectations that I have normally for all of you are really the same when we're learning remotely. So I wanted to share with you what some of our remote learning expectations will be. And we're going to start off with how you can keep your dear teacher happy while we are remote learning this year. Some of you that have been at Miss Fillion for a while are probably familiar with these 5 rules. You're familiar with following directions quickly, raising your hand, all of those things. But the last rule that I always go over with my students is keeping your dear teacher happy and what that means. Because what keeps Mrs. Deinert happy and what kept your previous teachers happy might not be the same exact thing. And I think it's important that you know what I like, just like I'm going to need to learn what things you like to keep you happy. So let's get started. My very first thing that I'm going to tell you that makes me happy is you taking charge of your own learning, especially as a 5th grader. Don't come to me and say, oh, my mom, my dad, my grandma, my aunt, they forgot to submit my work to you, Mrs. Deinert, or they forgot to do this. Guess what? You're a 5th grader. Okay, so you got to step up and take some responsibility. So it's really important that you say, we may have to work through this together, but you take on that responsibility. You came to class with a pencil? When we have our Google Meets, when you're getting down in your space that you have set up to do your learning and your work, you need to be prepared. Whether it's bringing a pencil, bringing a notebook, having your supplies, getting organized, finding a quiet space to work, you need to make sure that you're doing that, okay? Even though we're learning remotely, it's still learning, so we need to be prepared and be ready. Did you really just ask if you had to write in complete sentences? We are 5th graders. We are definitely writing in complete sentences. Whether we're typing them, or speaking them, or making a PowerPoint, we are doing our best work. I don't get what to do. Did you read the directions? Please read the directions. Mrs. Deinert is going to be as explicit as possible. Are there going to be slip-ups and confusions? Absolutely. And we will work through those. But please, 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 please read the directions. This is what I will look like if you're talking on a Google Meet while I'm talking. Okay? It's going to be difficult when we have Google Meets and we have lots of different people, jumping in. It's really important that when Mrs. Deinert is talking that your voices are off. I just answered that question, okay? Please make sure that you're listening to other people's questions and you're listening to what I have said, because a lot of times I will answer the questions along the way. While I do want you to be quiet while I'm talking, please say something at least. The whole point of teaching is to be able to interact with you guys. And I'll be really sad if our Google Meets are like this. Right? Be a participant. Talk to me. I want to hear what you have to say. This is not remote learning. We are not going to be sitting around watching TV, playing our games, doing Xbox, right? When we are learning and we're in school, we are actively engaged in the learning process. We're reading, we're doing math and science and social studies, so we shouldn't be lounging on the couch watching TV all day. Sometimes when you work from home, we look a little crazy. You're not always going to be your best self when it's time to learn, and that's okay. Please make sure that we respect that. Sometimes we might be in our pajamas. We might not be in our school clothes. We might have our hair all crazy, but we're still going to give it our all, even if we're wearing our PJs to school. Last but not least, let's have lots of fun. So I'm going to move this out of the way. I love to have fun. This is me and my son. We were being goofy right before I did this video. It's really important that you understand that we're going to have challenges. We are going to have things that are new and unique and different. At the end of it, we have to have fun, okay? So if we approach each and every day of remote learning with a good attitude, I think we're going to have a great year.